Okay, so now we're going to continue with this video, and yeah, this is going to be part 2 of the how to build the space matrix and memorize it. It's better to break up the video too. Easier to upload. So the last thing I was mentioning was how you use the 16s to figure out where you are. And as another example, like, so if you're trying to find, number 54, so you start 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And depending on where you are, because, as I said, all the quadrants, they're based on the 64, but you need to apply it to wherever that one is. So if I was in the bottom left quadrant, this would be 176, not 48. So 177, 178, 179, 180, 181, 182. So that's where that would be. Same place in the thing, but different spot in this matrix. So let's say 182 would be right there. And that is BMU 351. Kin 182 is also my guide. And just little side notes, synchronicities. So I'm going to highlight the numbers that I use the most frequently for memorizing these. As I said, 16, 48, 32, and I guess 1. Trust, if you just know those, and you know this pattern, you'll be able to figure out where any of these numbers are. Now to the next ones, and these are all the multiples of 16, so know your multiples of 16. So then, and they're always going to be in the same spot. So 65, 80, and now I know 65 isn't a multiple of 16, but it goes off of 64, but it's in this quadrant. So the next one, 96, 112. And if you wanted to go another level, you can memorize the multiples of 8 as well. I haven't bothered to do that because it seems like a lot of effort, and just from knowing these, it takes me only a few moments to find them, but there's always faster and more efficient. So now, go down to the next quadrant, because after 112, it's going to go 113, 114, etc., and end right here on 128. So we start over here at 129, which, by the way, really cool synchronicity. This is actually BMU 129 on the actual 441 matrix, and it lands in the same spot. So 129, 144, down here we got 160, and 176. And we end on 192. Here. So then we start over in this quadrant. 193. 208 is the one up here. Then down here we got 224 and 240. So here we have it. Just memorize where these are. And you will, and these patterns, and you will know the space matrix like the back of your hand. Because it's already in the back, in your mind, in your higher self. You just have to project it from the higher dimension and bring it into the physical world. So we got 65, 80, 112, 96. Ugh. That green's not gonna work there. Sec. $144. $129. $176. And $160. Also 256 ends right there. Highlight these ones. 208, 193, 240, and 224. So as long as you got that pattern, like let's say for today, we are at kin 254. So we go 241, 242, 243, 244, 245, 246, 247, 248, 249, 250, 251, 252, 253, 254. That's where we are right today. DMU 157 on the 441 matrix. So there's that. And now we're going to continue with some more tricks that I like to use to find numbers on the space matrix. And that's where we're going to look at this. So we can divide it into 4 quadrants. Then we can divide that into 8. Then we got the 64. Now, let's say, we're going to do a fun. I'm going to get my dice and I'm going to roll them. See what we can find. So I'm going to roll my dice. I know I don't got 21, but 20-sided dice. I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm going to show you guys exactly the process I'm going to use to find where something is on the space matrix. Hopefully it lands in one of these quadrants, but let's see. Green and red dice is the vertical. Orange dice is the horizontal. Nice. Okay, vertical 7, horizontal 17. So immediately, vertical 7. So there's the vertical, and then the horizontal's this. So right away I know, keep it there, like this. Vertical 7, that is going to be in this, like quadrant, if you would say. So, just like this. I guess I'm trying to I skip steps right now because it's easy for me. I know right off the top of my head that it's right there. But I'm gonna show you guys how I got to that one that fast. So the 5 and the 6, so the 5th circuit and the 6th circuit are essentially what it's the main separator of the quadrants. automatically, if you're on the 5th circuit, you're on that half. 6th circuit, you're in that one. Likewise, 5th circuit, 6th circuit. Now, the reason why I've got it 5/6 is because it depends on what quadrant you're in. As we can see, if you're up here and in the 5th circuit, you're going to be in this quadrant. 6th one, you're over here. 5th one, you're in this quadrant. Well, 5th or lower, you're in this one. 6th or higher, you're in that one. But if you're down here, and let's say you're in the 5th circuit, you're in this quadrant now, or this one. And then the 6th would be this or this. And I say 5th or 6th, even though over here it's 17 and 16 and stuff. But the more you work with it, you'll know that you'll just know what circuit you're in. So vertical 7, horizontal 17. We got that right here. So, and we're gonna go back to this one to show you. So what was it? Vertical 7, horizontal 17. Where are you, 17? You're my favorite number. So, vertical 7. We know we're in this half, this quadrant. Vertical 17. That one's 5th from the bottom. So we know we are in this bottom half. So if we're in this half and that half, we know we are in this quadrant right here. Boom. So then we go on to this one. So vertical 7, and for this one, we use the 3 and 4 and the 7th and 8th circuits to separate it. And another reason why that's important is because in the time matrix, it's the 7th circuit that governs those zones. And since we are often calculating the time telepathic frequency, which is in these different circuits, the 7th one, but not higher than that, it's helpful to know. So if you're calculating something in the time matrix, you know that you're not even going to be in these quadrants or that quadrant or this one. You're only going to be in one of those squares of 49. So once again, we're going to narrow it down. Just adding a few more tips. Vertical 7. So we know what we're in, this quadrant now. Vertical 17. 5 from the bottom. So that's in this quadrant. So now we got it narrowed down more. We're in this square. Then we bring it down to here, so we got the 7th one there. And then the 15th one, the 5th one from the bottom. So it brings us to that quadrant. And by the way, this was, I forgot the first step. Like I said, the first step would be looking at it and realizing, okay, so now we're in this one. We know we are in, it's that square right there. Right there. So to find that, we realize what quadrant we're in, which for this particular coordinate is the 129 to 192. So for that one, we know we're in this set that starts after 144. So 145, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149. So that's how we found out that space matrix 149 is right there. And so I think I explained whatever tips I might have in a pretty good way for that. As I said, practice alone brings knowledge and wisdom. And the more you practice it, the more you will be attuned to it. Personally, what I can say is that the best tips will be knowing the 16s, knowing these coordinates here. So each of these 4 in those quadrants, as well as these corners, remember that you add them by 8 in the middle, and on the outside edges, it's added by 9. And so knowing it by the 16s, being familiar with this organization of the quadrants, and then the 5 and 6, 5th circuit and 6th circuit, knowing this quadrant and that, it's like you combine this with that, and it really gives you the best outcome, if you would. So yeah, there you have it. Joel, White Cosmic Mirror, and leaving you with a lot of love, peace, and compassion. And thanks for tuning in and checking out how to build the space matrix. Looking forward to sharing more videos to come. Peace.